Hi there, and welcome to your Biology 2101, which is your Anatomy and Physiology 1 biology course. I'm your instructor, Vanessa, and I'm going to go ahead and show you around this course. So we're starting here on the Pikes Peak main page. Uh, let's go ahead and log into the portal. And so we're here. I'm going to go to D2L. While you're in D2L, you're going to see several courses that pertain to you. Let's go ahead and click on your anatomy and physiology course. Right away, when you get into your anatomy and physiology course, you're going to find yourself on the course homepage. On this course homepage, here is where you're going to find all your announcements. Matter of fact, this is where you're going to find this video that I'm giving you. So, before we get started, I want you to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and I want you to have that handy because as we go through this welcome video, you're going to see a series of animals pop up, just like that one, and write down that animal. So as you are watching the welcome video, more are going to pop up. You're going to write them down. Make sure you are watching the entire welcome video. That way you can collect all of the animals because you're going to have a question regarding those animals and their order when you take your syllabus quiz. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So here we go. The very first thing, you've already seen your welcome announcement. Your welcome announcement, it just tells you about your anatomy and physiology lecture and lab. It is inclusive altogether. This is what we call asynchronous online course, meaning we do not have a specific time that we are scheduled to meet. Very important. This is not an open-ended course. It has very specific hard due dates, and there's no work ahead in this course. We have very specific windows in which uh, many of the tests and lab practicals fall under. Okay, so with that, this is an awesome course. Now, it goes ultra fast, and you need to be prepared from that from the beginning. It is so important that you are retaining the information all throughout the course. You were probably told to do this in your Bio 1111 course. And the reason why is in this course, you are going to find a lot of the application from the Bio 1111 in the earlier chapters and even extending beyond. So our first set of chapters is actually a huge Bio 1111 review. So make sure if you're needing to look back at that and review, you definitely need to do so because your first exam is going to be very heavy in Bio 1111 content. Okay, so we do have lecture and lab documents. You're going to find those in the contents tab. You have an ebook. The ebook publisher is Pearson. It is inclusive into the course. It is found also in the contents tab. Currently, as you see, it is under construction. It should be available tomorrow. Alrighty. So with that, that goes with the Mastering Anatomy and Physiology homework assignments, also called dynamic study modules. All right, so the course schedule, also located in the contents tab. Your first assignments are going to be to read the syllabus, watch this video to completion, then after that, you can take the syllabus quiz. Okay. The syllabus quiz is due Friday, January the 24th at 11:59 p.m. Well, let's go ahead and get started with an introduction discussion. You should be posting your first original post in your introduction discussion. The initial post is due 3 days after the opening of your discussion, which is today. Today is Tuesday, January 21st. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Your initial post is due by Thursday, January the 23rd. Now, on a normal week where we start class on Monday, your post will always be due by Wednesday. So please make sure that you know that. With your discussions, there will be a rubric. It's embedded in the discussion. Feel free to look at it when you get there. Um, you have to have two replies on two additional separate days. So what that means is your initial post, for example, say you didn't do your initial post on Wednesday, okay? Then you need to do a reply, say maybe, I don't know, Thursday. And how about another reply Saturday? Okay. But I want to caution you, don't do them all on the last day when it's open, Sunday, because even though the discussion closes on Sunday, you will earn minimal points by doing your original and all your replies on Sunday. When I say minimal points, this is a 10-point discussion. That'll probably earn you 3 points, no matter how awesome it is. Please make sure that you review your rubric. All right, so your Mastering Anatomy and Physiology has a short name called MAPS. I love it. Once you do get access to that, there will be an Intro to Dynamic Study Modules tutorial. You will find it there. It is going to be due by January the 24th. Your next assignment that you can actually do right now is to download Respondus. Respondus is going to be found in your quizzes tabs. Once you've downloaded Respondus, you need to take the Respondus quiz, which is identifying cheating. This is required. It is due by Friday, January 24th. It is available. You should have that done. I want to let you know Respondus does not work with Chromebook, okay? And I will not open up iPad availability on Respondus either. So you really need to be working on a computer. If you do not have a computer and those are your only two means of technology, it's okay. Don't go buy a new computer, okay? There are computers available on campus. You could use them for the exams, you can use them for the labs. Um, but the thing is you have to use Respondus, and for the labs, you have to use Office 365, which we will talk about a little bit later. And you cannot do those on Chromebook. Okay, so with that, if you want your D2L to work awesomely, well, let's not, let's go ahead and cross our fingers on that one. If you don't want it to mess up as bad as if you didn't use it, you really should be using Google Chrome, okay? Your D2L and your Respondus are going to work best on Google Chrome. Safari sometimes works, okay? Edge sometimes works. I still have problems with it. I still have students reporting that they can't download their labs, that they can't see pictures on the labs, whatever that looks like. Firefox, never use Firefox, okay? Just never use Firefox. Alrighty. So, YouTube assignment. This is another assignment due by Friday, January the 24th, 11:59 p.m. Real simple. It is part assignment and part extra credit. So we're already first day of class, gonna get some extra credit if you do this assignment by the due date. So let's go ahead and click here for those instructions. It'll take you to another announcement. And it tells you about what that is. It's a 5-point assignment with the possibility of 5 extra credit points. What you have to do is you have to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It is called Wellness Rooted in Science. Let's go ahead and click into that. And here it is, Wellness Rooted in Science. You can see I have made other videos. Notice those are not for your class though, okay? Your class will be up here pretty soon. So you're going to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It'll be up here somewhere. I can't subscribe to myself. And so, yeah. So once you've taken a screenshot, you're going to come back here. You're going to go ahead and click into the YouTube extra credit. It is going to take you to the assignments folder. And as you see here on the assignments folder, it has the due date of January the 24th. That is in order to get the extra credit. Now, if you're just going to do the assignment, but not the extra credit, the second date is January the 26th. So 10 points total. So that's 5 points for the assignment, 5 points for the extra credit if you do it by the first date, Friday, January 24th. If you don't and you miss it, you still have opportunity for 5 points for the assignment because it is an assignment, but you will not be getting any extra credit. And that second date is January the 26th. If you miss the January the 26th date, you will have 0 points out of possible 5 points for the assignment, and you've already started as a deficit. So if you have any questions, I want to encourage you to reach out to me, others in the class, whatever that looks like. And so, if you're going to email me, so if you have a question that is pertaining to your own personal situation, okay, you got to email me because Mrs. Aragon, I've been sick all week. I did not get a chance to do the lab practical, and here's my doctor's note showing that I've been sick all week. That is when you email me, okay? If you have any other questions, you are going to put those questions in my office hours. Okay. When you email me, please make sure that you are including your class and your section number because I have two section numbers for my A&P. I have two sections for 1111. I have a section of 1003. And so I get a lot of questions and I'm not always sure on how to answer it if I don't know what class you're in. Alrighty. So any questions regarding the course content are going to go into my office hours. Please do not email me with questions regarding the class or course content. You're going to put them in my office hours. If you email me those questions, I'm just going to respond back, hey, it's great to talk to you, but will you please put that in my office hours? And I will go to my office hours to answer them. So notice you can go there a couple of different ways, either the link I gave you or to the actual discussions. And so with that, since we're here, I might as well just show you. We also have a water cooler where you can talk with your fellow students. If you have questions for me, don't put them in there because I do not check that often, but I do check it to make sure that it's staying civil. Here is where you're going to put your introduction discussion. This is this week's assignment, open January the 21st through January the 26th. In your contents tab, this is where you're going to find all your information that is going to help you to be successful in this class. So let's begin at the table of contents. Close everything up. We'll get it one by one. So in your table of contents, I have our start here documents. This is the first thing that you do and open. As you can see here, we have a syllabus tab. Here's your syllabus and course shell. I am going to come back to here because I want to cover the syllabus at the end. So let's go to the next one, ebook and mastering anatomy and physiology. Click into here. And you're going to see that there's an ebook. You want to launch courseware. If you just read now, that only goes to the textbook. But in order to do your homework assignments, you have to launch courseware. When you launch courseware, it's going to take you to the publisher. And you have many, many opportunities for studying, all different types of studying stuff here. Okay, here's your textbook right there. I like to just go ahead and go to the orange tab. That way I can find the supplementals. Supplementals are going to be mastering anatomy and physiology. If you had 1111 with Pikes Peak, you might have already done mastering biology. So when I go here, I can look at it two different ways. I can look at it in the calendar view, just like such, right? You would see all of them just placed in here, or I could look at them in the list. And you can see I have dynamic study modules for each of the chapters. Each chapter usually has about 3. There's a couple of them that have 4. And if you remember, they take a while, okay? But essentially, you are getting credit for studying, something that you should already be doing. So these are a great tool to help teach you the material. That's why they call them dynamic, because they're literally teaching you what you don't know. And you don't know what you don't know until they tell you you don't know. That's why it's awesome. Okay, so let's go back to your course. Then you have each of your modules. Your modules have everything that you need in them for that time period. So let's click on module number 1. Module number 1 is going to have all your lecture PowerPoints. So, and then videos, supplementals, and it's going to include your labs. And so you'll click on that. Got the open eyes, so you can see this is chapter 1, 2, 3. Essentially, these are review chapters for biology 1111. So let's go to your quizzes tab. As you can see, all of your quizzes, they're all going to correspond to the due dates that are on your syllabus schedule. So make sure, as you see here, look at this. This requires Respondus. But the regular lab quizzes do not require respondus. So if it requires respondus, you will see that written in it. And this is how you do your respondus, your lockdown browser. When you go to take that mock quiz, it will go ahead and walk you through all of it. Let's take a peek at that syllabus tab. It is found in the contents tab. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on here. Okay, so it's really important that before you are taking the syllabus quiz, you are watching the video that I'm giving you right now, right? Are you collecting those animals? Have you seen them come up? All right, make sure you're writing them down in the same order and that you are also looking at the syllabus. Then you take the quiz. So this is your course and section number. Make sure you have all that with any communication with me for email. Here's your term. Here is your course availability dates. Our class meeting is going to take place Monday through Sunday. Monday is considered the beginning of the week. Here is my information. You email me using your student at CCCS email. Course start date, January 21st, which actually is today. Drop date is February the 5th. What the drop date is, it's important to know when that is. That is the last day that you can drop class without a financial responsibility, okay? Come February the 6th, you've now paid for the class. So you might as well keep going. The withdrawal date is April the 17th, and April the 17th is the last day to withdraw and get a W on your transcript. So maybe if you're not getting the grade that you quite wanted and you don't want that on your transcript, you can withdraw by that date. But here's what I say. If you made it past this date, why wouldn't you keep going? Learn all you can because repetitiveness, repetitive practice, that's how you're going to be successful if you have to take it a second, maybe even a third time. All right, spring break, already looking for it. I've already put it on my calendar. I already took out classes. We do not have classes, not even online classes. So, or at least not PPSC online classes. If you're taking other classes in the CCS system at one of the other colleges, they might have different spring break dates, and I'm sorry for you. All righty. That course ends on May the 11th, although all your due dates will be that week prior. All right, so here's your course description. You have chosen an online course. You're expected to have the technology and the time to complete the course as instructed. It's very challenging. It requires a lot of dedication. It is a lot of work for little points. And you're like, what are you talking about? The labs are intensive for 10 points, okay? But you can choose not to do them. It's not about the points. It's about learning the material. It's about practicing the content. And you should be doing that anyway, but you get awarded for points for doing that on time. And they are due specific dates. Okay, now that we got that over with, here is your e-textbook. Like I said, it is inclusive access into your course. You do not have to pay for it separately. It's included in the price of your course. Here's some additional required materials. You are required to download Office 365 Word and PowerPoint. This course does not accept any other documents other than Office 365 Word and PowerPoint. I don't accept Canva. I don't accept TXT, no WordPad, no old version of Office. Oh, definitely no Google Drive documents. Okay. This is a hard requirement. If you're not doing your lab assignments on Office 365 Word, you will not receive credit. Chromebook does not download Office 365 Word or PowerPoint, none of the Office 365. The problem is D2L doesn't accept other formats well. It has the formatting all over the place. It doesn't download the pictures for you. It won't upload pictures for me to see. It looks like it might work on your end, but then when I look at it in your assignments, it's not there. Okay. So please don't try any other version. And to be specific, it has to be the downloaded version, not working in a browser tab like up here. It has to be one that is on your desktop. There's a free download for Pikes Peak on the dashboard. I will also have a separate video on how to access that too, if you haven't already. Other required, sheep brain dissection kit. The sheep brain dissection kit, it says here that your course should prompt you to order it. Well, they took that away. So now I understand where it's happening and there's no pop-up. So I have put an announcement of how to go ahead and order it, so no worries. All right, optional, but yet suggested, the lab manual. It's great for practice. It really is. I don't require it. Atlas, that's very helpful too. Highly, highly recommended is to download one of these apps. I will have an announcement on what they are and how to find them. You will get a ton of empty pictures from there that you can just screenshot and label. It will make doing your homework a breeze. All right, Bio 1111 notes and the knowledge that you came with. All right, chapter objectives, lab practicals, online resources, all of that stuff available on D2L. It is essential that you do have internet unless your plan is to come to the school to work, okay? This is an online course and not having reliable internet, unfortunately, is not considered an excused absence for missing turning in assignments or taking exams. All right, so here's our section number. Going through, here is course guidelines and expectations. General course objectives, feel free to read through that on your own. Same thing with the lab objectives. Course guidelines, approximately 3 hours per week dedicated to lecture and discussion and 2 hours to laboratory activities. Okay, this is a very general statement because it's a 3 credit course and a 1 credit lab. I'm letting you know that is so wrong. You will be 100% immersed in this class. And don't think after 5 hours for the week you should be able to call it quits. When you call it quits is when you understand. And that could be very extensive. And so I don't want to kid you. This is the course that is taken before you go on to become nurses and doctors and physical therapists, right? So you have to know your stuff. Okay. It is very intensive, but guess what? I had to do it. I did it, right? Other people have to do it. It's not easy. Sometimes you have to do it 2 times. You might have to take the class 3 or more times, but you could do it. Just letting you know to hold yourself to a high expectation this semester. Okay, so let's go ahead and lab guidelines. I'll let you read through that. Lab safety, make sure when you're doing your labs at home, really the only thing that this would apply to is the very last lab, and that is the sheep brain dissection. Everything else that we do is more, it's a paper lab, is what they are, paper labs. All right, lab requirements. Students, like I said, are required to download Office 365, and it has to be the downloaded version, not the browser version with the cloud. You must type into your labs using a contrasted color. Okay, if you use light green, that is not contrasting. All else fails, you use red. Also, don't use a different color for every answer or every word. One color, stick to it. You have to make text boxes, okay? You just insert box and then you type into the box. It's really easy. In my video, I will show you how to just make it incredibly easy. Handwritten labs are not accepted. They will earn a 0. All pictures must be inserted into the lab document in the appropriate section. Pictures will not be accepted in another document file. Like, for example, if you have a document, if you have a lab document and you have to enter 7 pictures, I should not be getting 7 picture files. I should be getting one turned in PDF with all 7 of the pictures in that one PDF. So it starts out as an Office 365 Word, and then you save the final version as a PDF. Okay, the only exception to handwritten labs is going to be the solutions calculations. All lab due dates are in the syllabus, and there is no late labs. There's no late quizzes, no late practicals, discussions, exams. Late work is not accepted. Okay. However, there is one makeup lab at the end of the semester that you can do it and input it, and it'll replace the grade of one of your low lab grades. So there's one opportunity. All right, online classroom attendance. We already talked about it being asynchronous. So the attendance that I take is whether you're participating on a weekly basis. Okay. I monitor the work that you're doing. And when you turn in, for example, a quiz, that tells me you attended. Attendance alone is not enough to benefit from these experiences provided by reading the chapters, doing the assignments. You have to be prepared. Like I told you before, there's a lot of information that is going to be covered in this course. It is very intense and time commitment. It's the expectations that you are participating in all of it. Because without that, you're not going to do well. I'm not going to kid you. You won't do well. And you'll be happy when you do well. All right, online quizzes, lab practicals, exams, and discussions occur only on the specific days noted in the course schedule. If you have an accessibility contract, it is a student's responsibility to get that to me. It has to be a current semester's contract. It can't be one from last semester. So make sure you make an appointment with accommodations. That way you can get your contract renewed for the semester. And so you need to send that to me and we will conversate on how we'll apply that to this course. All right, like I said, no meet retakes, no makeups, just that one makeup lab possibility, but no makeups of quizzes, exams, discussions, or labs. If you missed any of those quizzes, try to let me know ahead of time. If you're sick and you know you're just not going to get to make it, let me know, okay? But they all have to have documentation, okay? So, unexcused absences. What an excused absence is, it's an emergency. Illness with the doctor's note, court date, bereavement, deployment. Those are considered excused. Now, unexcused would be student employment, vacations, sports, high school obligations, a wedding, just didn't feel like doing it. You know, you had a little bit of a cough. I'm sorry, but those are not considered excused absences, and there's no exceptions on those. So let's talk about testing. And there's going to be a 4-day testing window in which students will have their exams available on D2L. Okay. Um, for those exams and lab practicals only, and the final, you will be using Lockdown Browser, which is that Respondus. Here's the rules for Respondus. If you get flagged cheating, you're going to receive a 0. Okay. In this, you must show your entire face on the camera. You need to sit back far enough that I can see your upper body too. Your head, your upper body, and slightly around you. You have to have your entire face on camera. I missed that one. You have to keep your eyes on the computer. If you're just looking around, looking down, all over the place, I get it. Sometimes I look to the sky to find the information in my head. Well, you can't do that in this because unfortunately it is going to flag you for cheating. Um, you will also have to have your ID. You will also have to have your camera do a 360 around the room and on your lap and underneath your keyboard. Okay. So the reason why is, yeah, you can hide all kinds of good notes. You're not allowed, and you'll see this on the quiz, you're not allowed to wear earbuds or hats or headbands or smart watches. You're not allowed to have your phone on your desk. Um, None of that. And so, yeah. I just don't make me, I don't want to question. Okay. Snow emergency really doesn't apply to online courses unless, for example, say that there is a citywide internet outage. Make sure you'll get a text message, by the way. If you got Xfinity, then whoever else, they'll send you a text message. They'll let you know of the outage. Take a screenshot of that text message because that's going to be your documentation. Civility in an online classroom. Unfortunately, I have to talk about this. It's school policy that students are not allowed to disturb the learning environment of other students. Disrespect for other students and the instructor will not be tolerated. Okay. This includes, but it's not limited to the discussions, emails, assignments, comments, D2L Messenger. Failure to follow these policies may result in administrative withdrawal. At the very basic, you will be reported to the Dean of Students. So if you get flagged for cheating, that will also be a report to the Dean of Students. Communication with instructor, please communicate with me. We already talked about when to email me, when to go into my office hours. D2L messaging system is not email. It is up here. This is D2L messaging system. That is like instant message, right? I am. But I don't get it unless I'm logged into my computer. So email is best. Um, and then I will answer you accordingly. This is important. Communication response time is about 12 to 24 hours. Okay, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., I have a weekend, and so do you. So I won't be answering anything after Friday at 3 p.m. Anything that is put, email, message, office hours, will be responded to the following Monday. Okay, keep in mind, I got a Monday morning class, so it might not be till Monday afternoon. Here is your grading policy. Please review what is going to be responsible for the total points of the class and what that adds to. The grades that you earn are going to be based on 90% and above is considered an A. 80% to 89.99999 students have earned a B. Okay. With that, there's a small amount of extra credit in this class. If you got that small amount of extra credit, the reason why you have an 89.999 is because you did the extra credit. But if you didn't do the extra credit and you got an 89.999, well, if you would have done the extra credit, you might have gotten a 90%. So either way, this is a hard number. And it's also a hard number that a 69.99 is a D. So please review that as you're questioning at the end of the semester. Late policy, no assignments are late without documentation. Please refer to what is considered an excused absence versus an unexcused absence. Okay, small amount of extra credit points. We've already talked about that. Accessibility services. Okay, we talked about accessibility services. Please take advantage of them. It's important that we all play on a level playing field. And if you feel that this is something that could apply to you, call them, make an appointment. All righty. Academic honesty. Plagiarism, cheating will not be tolerated, will result in a 0 on the assignment. Dean of students will be notified. It's possible that the decision is that a 0, an F is given in the class, depending on the situation. All right, so here is your schedule. Just kind of have some layouts up here. Lab practicals always have a window Sunday to Thursday. Exams, Sunday to Thursday. Mastering A&P, always due by Saturday. And the key is it's a Saturday before the exam opens. I'll show you what that looks like. Lab quizzes, always due by Sunday. Okay. They open on Monday, they're due by Sunday. Discussions, same thing. They open on Monday, they're due by Sunday, first post due by Wednesday. Lab assignments, always due on Sunday. Okay. So that consistency is going to be what helps you to be successful. And so I have it laid out here. Week 1, here's your lecture topics. Here's your discussion board topics, the discussion due date. lab activity, and the lab due date. So as you can see here, discussion board, I'm going to hit the discussions first. As I slide down, look, we don't have a discussion every week. So make sure that you are aware of when we have discussions. Okay, in your first week, syllabus quiz, Mastering A&P Intro to Dynamic Study module, Respondus quiz, and YouTube assignment. Okay, they have the due dates. Next, lab activity, you should begin lab 1 assignment. Also begin lab 2 assignment. Week number 2, chapter number 2, you have a discussion, lab quiz 1, lab quiz 2. These lab quiz 1 is based on assignment 1. Lab quiz 2 is based on assignment 2. Okay, it is due Sunday at the end of that week. It opens on Monday. Monday the 27th is due on Sunday the 2nd. So when you go into week 3, as you see here, do chapter 3 and review it. Your Mastering Anatomy and Physiology, chapters 1 through 3, is due on Saturday. The reason why it's due on Saturday because that next that next Sunday, the exam opens. So it will always be like that. Mastering is always the final due date before the exam associated. So if that's chapters 1 through 3, the exam's over 1 through 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide over here. These are all your lab activities. As you can see, terminology practical. You will find what you're supposed to be studying for in your module number 1. We're kind of scooting through. The next one is the histology practical, and you can see you got exam number 2. Sometimes they happen on the same weeks. It's I can't help it. It's just the way it has to be. So make sure you're planning accordingly for that. Axial practical, this is the 3rd one. Appendicular, this is the 4th one. And muscle practical, that's the 5th practical. Okay. There are 4 chapter exams and 1 cumulative final exam. Notice these are going to be available Sunday 5/4 through Thursday 5/8. The same days, Sunday 5/4 through Thursday 5/8. Okay, so plan that accordingly. Sometimes it just falls on the same weeks, and especially in the end. Okay, so with that, let's go back to our course home. Have you been collecting all of those animals? Remember, if you have any questions, please put them in my office hours. This is going to be an incredible semester. It's going to be ultra challenging. You're going to love it. It's going to be so rewarding. And so it's actually really fun. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't teach it if it wasn't fun. So I look forward to getting to know you and hope to hear more from you this semester.